Hello there, stamping friends. It's Jackie Bolhuis from Klompen Stampers. Today, we're going to make an explosion card. Have you ever seen an explosion card? It is a fun fold that has been around forever and ever and ever. I remember making these probably 27 years ago when I was first a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. It was kind of the thing before we got all super duper fancy. So I kind of dug it out from the archives and I thought, this is the perfect, easy fun fold that anybody can make with supplies you have. And it's one that, someone opens it up and you get a big wow. The stamping can be super simple, which is what you're going to see me do. And then a quick little fold for the explosion card and you'll amaze your family and friends. So before I flip the camera down, just real quickly, remember that with every video I do, there will be a link down in the video description. I always point down because in most devices it's below the video. If yours is a little bit different, just find the description of the video. There'll be a link that'll take you to a blog post that will give you pictures of the card I made along with all the supplies. And for this one, it will give you the cutting and scoring directions so that you can make this explosion card as well. So check that out. Just follow the link. And over on the website, there's all kinds of stuff happening over there because you can request a Stampin' Up! Catalog if you'd like one. Remember to sign up for my email newsletter. I send out once a week with free tutorials and keep you updated on everything. And don't forget about my frequent shopper rewards. You can read about it over there as well. But if you shop with me, use my host code, you can accumulate points to get a free stamp set of your choice. And we all love free stamp sets, right? Alrighty, I'm anxious to get to making this explosion card. So let's flip the camera down and let's get stamping. So I think we should just do our stamping first, and then we can move away these ink pads and go ahead and do the explosion card here. Now, the stamp set I'm using is artistically inked. Now, this has been around for a while, so I'm even guessing quite a few of you have this, but it's a great, quick and easy, big, bold stamp set to use. And I certainly could use the greetings that are in that set, but I wanted something bigger and something a little bit different. So I am using some greetings from Good Feelings, which is a new stamp set in this year's annual catalog. So to start, I have two pieces here of basic white. It looks like they're probably 2 3/4 square. Now remember, those measurements, you can find those right over on the website, so don't worry about that. And then I am going to, on each one of these, stamp the flower and then a few leaves here, like so. And then, let's see, let's grab our black. And I actually haven't stamped this beforehand. I kind of had it in my head what I want to do. So hopefully this will turn out. So we are using that greeting that says hip hip. And let's set that aside. And notice how I'm stamping these kind of on an angle because that's how they're going to end up on my card. This is more up and down this way. So let's go ahead and we're going to put 2 flowers there. We want them really running off the edge because on this one, I want to make sure that we have enough room to at least sign our name. Okay, don't have to write a lot in here, but we want to at least sign our name on there. So hip, hip on that first one. And then, oops, we almost did it. Let's see. Got to do it on our angle. It's a weird angle to stamp at. So there we go. Hip, hip, hooray. Now, you know what? I'm thinking this one, because we probably won't write on this one. Let's go ahead and fill this one in a little bit here. So let's just put a couple more of those flowers. Grab that green for our leaf. And there we go. Now I'm going to grab a speckle stamp. This is actually, I think, from the Fern stamp set. But I like to sometimes just add a little bit of that black speckle. You could do this with splattering as well. But I think sometimes, especially with these fun bright colors, it just gives it a little bit more dimension, especially if we're not like popping stuff up and cutting stuff out a lot. So let's just set those aside. And then this is going to be for the front of our card. So for this one, I want to use the larger flower. And let's go ahead and stamp it right there. Ooh, I love the look of this. Kind of that watercolor look. We'll put a couple leaves on there, and then since there is a stamp for the center, We'll add a little bit of Daffodil Delight. So I have, I believe this is Polished Pink, Granny Apple Green, and Daffodil Delight. Now, we are still using that same greeting set. So Hip Hip Hooray was in there, as well as this stamp. I'm going to ink this up good because it's pretty bold. Probably should be using my Stamparatus here. But we're going to go ahead and, let's see. I want it to kind of go partially on that flower. So let's go like so. Ooh, that looks nice and bright. Okay, I'm just so happy for you. And then look at it now and look at what it does when I put a little bit of these speckles on there. Don't overkill. I mean, I see people sometimes do this and it just overkills it. I just hit it very lightly to get just a little bit on there. Alrighty, that is all the stamping. So let me move these ink pads so we don't mess them up. Okay, now it's ready for the explosion part of this card. So I have a 6x6 piece of designer series paper. Now remember, I want you to be able to use this idea with anything. So you could really even just take like a piece of computer paper if you wanted to. Cardstock's a little thick, but computer paper, and you could stamp it. Okay, so you don't have to use designer series paper. It's just easy right now because now I don't have to stamp it. And what I'm gonna do, remember, everything's two-sided. Start out by whatever side you want to be the inside facing up. Okay, that's important. And then we are going to fold it in half one way. And for this, I always use my bone folder because I want a really, really good crease in there. Then open it up and fold it in half the other way. And again, keep that center, you know, what's inside there is what I want to show. So we've got this way and that way. Now, flip it over. And from the other side, we are going to fold this diagonal, corner to corner. And this is where it's pretty critical that your paper's square so that your center matches up nice. Get a nice seam in there. And now, when we open this up, you'll see how it just kind of wants to pop forward. But you bring in these two pieces and close it up, and it's going to make a nice square. And once again, I'm going to use that bone folder. Let's get these creases nice and flat. That way your card will lay closed and it'll mail just fine. So that is how it opens up. Now remember how we stamp things on a diagonal? You'll see why. What we're going to do here is put some adhesive on, and boy, that black's hard to see. We're going to just center it in this top square. Okay, there's that one. And then this one is going to go in that bottom square. So like I said, this is going to go in the inside of your card. Okay, so there we go. And we're going to fold it up like so. Now, our big piece for the front that we stamped, let's put some adhesive on that. And we're going to keep this black theme going here and just back that with a little piece of white. Now remember, sizes, cutting dimensions, everything will be over on that blog post. Now, I wasn't sure if I want to do this on a piece of crumb cake or a piece of white, because this is going to go on the inside. I like the crumb cake. I'm kind of a crumb cake fan. I love white, but I love crumb cake, and it goes with any color. So we're going to go ahead and stick that on the front. Now notice the stamping is so simple on this card. I did not die cut anything, which means I didn't use any dimensionals, but it's a great, just big pop of color. Now let's open it up, and you'll see how on the inside, this is going to fit on an angle. Now we got to make sure we have it the right way so that when it opens, it's not upside down. So what I do is I keep it closed, and I'm going to put adhesive first on the bottom square and then center this. These measurements, 6x6, will just fit from the fold line. We got to make sure we're in that fold down to the point. So get that in there like so, and then keep your card closed as you put the adhesive on this piece. And now we can close it and give it a good rub there. And now when we open it, ta-da! There's our explosion card. Simply stamped. When someone pulls this out of the envelope, they're not going to realize what a fun inside you have. Left a little bit of room there to sign our name. So remember, designer series paper in the inside, or just go ahead and use a piece of, say, computer paper, and you could stamp it. You wouldn't even have to add the white on there if you didn't want to. But that is how you make a very simple explosion card. I hope you try this. Grab any stamps, paper, inks that you have and make an explosion card. So thanks for watching. Make sure to share my video with your crafty friends. Leave me a comment and give me a thumbs up. I love to hear from my viewers. And then don't forget, you'll have that link down in the video description to take you to pictures and all the cutting and scoring, and as well as a list of supplies. Check it out. We'll be stamping again real soon. Have a stamp happy day.